This is part 2 of 10th and Juniper. I had to split it into 2 parts because it's more than 10 minutes long, as it turns out. Or at least at the rate I read, it's more than 10 minutes long, and YouTube doesn't like videos that are more than 10 minutes long, so this is part 2 of 10th and Juniper. The sky darkened, and the air raid siren sounded, and we waited. Although the trees did themselves blow in violent circles, nothing much more happened than usual. Large hail, explosive lightning, and that still green sky that tells you something somewhere is developing into something you'd rather not see or hear or touch. When the air pressure drops, your body will tell you that you are in danger, and I have run before in front of mud-tinged clouds, bunching up and circling around, and I have sat in the hallway while bolts hit the ground and trees all around the house, and I have listened to a deluge made concrete by balls of ice as big as my fist, but the one thing I dreaded seeing has still only come to me in nightmares. Now that I am old, I can tell them what to do when I see them, but at the same time I am never surprised when they show up, which renders the scene at once more and less tense. Rather than stare one down right into its column of occulted terror, I tell myself that they disappear when I look away, which is true, but I still don't know what lives inside of them, and I cannot persuade myself to find out, even when I know the dreamscape is internal to me and it is no bodily threat. It may be that primary trauma will only ever dress up, and that there would be nothing to see in there, but terror itself, absolutely sheer, so that even if it were invisible, there is no opening to the eyes to it without losing one's sight or something more dear. It would not be entirely inaccurate to suppose that the maw at the eye of the cyclone is that of Saturn himself, or rather Jehovah, voraciously gulping down his children into eternal torment in the fire of his own creativity. The reverse narrative of life arising out of the swamps on an island of rock, accreted from dust expelled by exploding stars, having run their course, as ovens where births matter itself, from itself, after gathering itself to itself. The sun, you know, does not think through the consequences of what it is doing, but it ejects daily enough energy to keep us spinning for another 3 billion years. Where we were forged, there we will be consumed again. But what they got wrong, what they forgot to tell me is that the horror show that they cast from the mechanical procession of matter and energy is only a dream of an ego that assumes its immortality, which is to say, which grasps at life as though it wanted to witness its own destruction. Death is a bed of flowers, loam, and moss, the draught of dreamless sleep, whereas hell is the waking hallucination of he who refuses to let go, even when it would be the most compassionate gift he could bestow upon himself and everyone around him. To protect me from death, they gifted me with a livid riot of careening razor-edged, shrieking demons, surrounding a shapeless yet grinning face made of gristle and cavities. Remember this when you tell your children what God does to little girls who lie. Then act surprised when they complain of visions of a future hostile and deformed. And that is the end of 10th and Juniper.